My name is Kelly Guevara, and I'm the Pink Houses Community Farm Manager. My employers are East New York Farms, which is an organization based out of a community center here in East New York. I've been farming for about 6 seasons. My farming career started in Connecticut. I used to work in some rural farms and one small nonprofit out there, actually in my neighborhood. When I made the big move to New York, I got connected to East New York Farms. So we are at one of our 3 sites, where all the produce that we grow here, we distribute to the community for free every single Saturday. Every other week we target about 90 to 100 families, and the weeks in between we'll target between 30 and 50 folks with the food that we get from the farm. Our forever battle is always going to be with white flies, like the cabbage white flies and aphids. Well, I'm right in front of what used to be like my really beautifully just the collard that produced the most. So I'm not sure if you're able to take a little look. If you get closer, there's a cabbage worm, as well as like some eggs right here. These cabbage flies, I usually know when they're gonna take over, right, it's usually beginning of June when they come through heavy. But I swear, right after I planted these, I didn't even think my collards were gonna make it because of how many white flies, but they somehow had a really insane growth spurt, and they were doing pretty well up until it started getting really dry. And as much as I was hand watering and relying on the rain as well, it I just still wasn't able, and I'm still not able to manage all of this, all of these flies. Probably within the month, this plant won't produce as much as I'm hoping. We usually try to make as many bunches as humanly possible, which is why we grow about 300 feet total of collards. But yeah, this year has been exceptionally different with everything. We didn't bring our agenda to the farm. Everything that we grow here is because the community requested it. And our community consists of a lot of people that come from a lot of different continents on this planet. As much as we try to bring your regular produce that you find at farmers markets, we also try to grow some culturally appropriate ones that kind of bring people back to their home. We have some seasoning peppers like ají dulce, which is pretty big in the Caribbean community. We also actually grow a type of bitter gourd that everybody is really all about. We call it bitter melon, but I think it has different names like Carila. Nothing can bring this plant down. I swear, the only thing that kills this is the frost, nothing else. There's so many folks around here, especially South Asian folks and some Caribbean folks will come by and they'll say, I gotta go to Queens just to get this. And they're I can't believe it's here. Somebody had emailed East New York Farms. This person said that they were coming to the farm, to the farmer's market every single week, buying bitter melon, somehow introduced it into her diet, almost completely. This woman was telling us her journey with battling some sort of breast cancer. I don't think she had the means to get regular treatment in the hospital. So she read about bitter melon. 6 months later, writes us an email saying that her lumps in her breast were reduced. I think she literally just introduced a healthier diet and bitter melon. And somehow this has been her magical remedy. So this is gonna forever be a staple at this farm and at our sister farm forever. I did a cooking demo at the community center. It was a salad with everything from the gardens, something super basic. It was literally Malabar spinach, basil, cucumber, tomatoes, and actually we made a vinaigrette with the garlic that we grew on the farm and the honey that we harvested from our sister farm. So it was literally the only things that we did not produce was the oil and salt and pepper and another little herb. What was more fun was really telling people about this plant, because everyone's it's not your spinach. I'm I know, it's a juicier spinach.
It's juicy.
I tried juicing this at home. Hilarious, like the weirdest thing ever. But it tasted really good. You could get a shot with how long this thing really is. I had like a 15-foot one a couple years back. I don't even know why I let it grow that long. Let me see if I can get this. Look at this.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Farm fashion. So this is low-key like our pride, is the Malabar spinach. It loves growing in the shade. Ooh, can I show y'all? I actually have Nigerian spinach. A Nigerian couple that actually lives right in the building right here. They came probably like back in 2019. They came with tons of seeds and they're like, we want some beds and we want to give it to everybody. I was like, all right, cool. So take 2 beds. And then at the ends of the beds, they decided to drop these seeds. And she was telling me that it's like a Nigerian spinach is essential. But I forgot. Can you say the name again?
Bure.
She pronounced it differently. Like there was like a whole different word she used
Water
for
leaf?
this. Okay, yes. It's so good though.
Do you notice that these different varieties get less pest pressure?
Absolutely. Generally, I like to keep like a hot pepper bed, sweet peppers, and some seasoning peppers just to kind of hit everybody's flavor. What we love about these seeds is that, so we get them from True Love. They always really have like all the funky type of varieties. Pretty much the ones that we buy from True Love seeds are like the peppers that don't have like much issues with pests. So you see this pretty uniform plant. Like, I mean, everything is like still like very much up compared to our sweet peppers, which I'll show you. But there's really like no disease. I found a sign of one little thing, which is right here, but it's barely spreading, or it just kind of froze in time. I do want to show you the sweet peppers that have been struggling essentially from the start. Luckily, the fruit is not coming out blistered or anything, but you can tell on the leaves, look at this, not even able to battle with this disease that it has. Now we are approaching pretty dramatic eggplants. So right now, as you can tell, like there's just like tons of little holes all over the leaves. Almost every single leaf on these plants has had like some sort of flea beetle damage. So it's actually these little guys over here. I'm sure you can't see them from over there, but they really do work really thoroughly. They've been really taking out this whole plant. For the past couple years, I've been struggling with the same issue. They'll like have a really good strong start, and then at one point, I'm not sure if I dropped the ball or not. Like the plant, like the moment it's just kind of feeling a little weak, I feel like these bugs instantly take over. So here we got our tomato beds, which have been decimated by a 2-spotted spider mite. When I first planted the tomatoes, I actually planted some sentinel plants. When the mite, like when it first appears, I think it'll go straight for the bean plants first. So we monitor this plant and we'll know exactly when the spider mites landed here. So then once we realized that, okay, they're here, we ended up releasing some predatory mites. Feltella acarisuga is the name of this one specific one. We might have not release them at the perfect time. Well, we're thinking that maybe next year, an early release, because these tomato plants are essentially goners. This coming Saturday is going to be my last tomato harvest because I just cannot even push this plant anymore. The spider mite and disease have both double teamed it. It almost seems like every single year I lose a month of tomato production. I remember back in 2018 when I started working here, my tomatoes were producing up until right before Thanksgiving. I remember I had a November 22nd harvest. I just feel like every single year after I lose a month of production. Like this year it's only August 27th, 28th, and there's nothing left. So I'm just curious what next year is going to look like. I'm hoping that maybe we'll be able to control the spider mite. But it's kind of sad to see how much I'm just like losing poundage of food as well. Having this space open the entire time during COVID is that folks were able to come and still be socially distant and safe, but still kind of keep their hands in the dirt. I feel like last year was like a crazy surge with gardening in general. Like Home Depot was selling out of everything and Lowe's. So if those spaces are selling out of everything, I just knew that the world was trying to get back to like some sort of self-sustainability in a way. I don't want to get too technical with that, but I think people have been really trying to get back to their roots. So I've seen a lot more just like residents come through the farm, and not only do they visit, but I think just like a genuine interest in like learning how to do it for themselves.